There's Mama behind me. Woo-woo! It's finally Saturday. We're off. We're on our way home. We have two separate vehicles. Because a lot of times on Monday morning, we have different running around to do. Mama's right there behind me. And I'll run and do some things, and Mom will run and do some things. And then we'll meet at work. And then we got to take 2 cars home. But I wanted to make a little disclaimers, whatever you call it, on I put up a video the other day, and we were talking about drivers drinking while they're on the truck, or not really on the truck, but while they're off when they leave. For instance, we work Monday through Friday, and we come home Saturday morning. Other drivers are out for months at a time, and what we were talking about in the video is just it's never a good time to drink if you're a truck driver, if you're if you're on over the road and you're off duty and you go to a restaurant or you go to eat, or there's a lot of drivers that buy beers and drink in their truck after work. I don't really know any, but I've seen it. I've seen drivers climb in their trucks with beers or throw beers out in the morning before they start driving. But what I wanted to say was we were talking about that, and I was talking about that I've trained hundreds of drivers over the last 14 years, and some of them have the idea that when they're off duty, when they're on their 10-hour break, that they can drink if they want to. And I talked about one of my students that he was a trainer, and he was with a student and got rear-ended, and I was making I was talking about drivers that started late. I was using it for an example. I didn't mean that. I seen the video, and it looked like I was saying that R&L drivers that start at 3 a.m. drink beer up until 2 o'clock. I wasn't saying that. I seen the video after, and it sounded like that's what I was saying. But I was saying, for instance, we have drivers that start at 3 a.m, 2 a.m, 1 a.m, depending on when their load leaves. And I was putting that with thoughts that I heard from drivers over the years, and I was saying, for instance, like our drivers that start at 3 a.m, there's drivers out there. I don't know if they're at R&L. I've never heard an R&L driver say that, but I've heard drivers, and I know they have opinions of, say, the driver that they start at 3 o'clock. Hold on 1 second. Say they start at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're getting off of their off day. They start Sunday night at 3 in the morning. There's drivers that they think, well, it's my off day. I'm the second driver. I don't drive I go to work at 3 o'clock, and they'll drink thinking that I don't have nothing to worry about because I don't have to drive until I go to the yard. I'm going to get in the truck and go to sleep for 10 hours, 11 hours. So I'm okay. It's okay for me to do that, and it's not. What I was saying is that there's you can crawl in that bunk. You can have alcohol in your blood, and your driver, he could rear-end a car and kill somebody while you're sleeping, and they will. I know from hundreds of times that I've known drivers, known situations that if you wreck in a semi and you cause damage or bodily injury, they are going to test both drivers. They don't care that you're in the sleeper, that you're sleeping. They are going to come. They are going to drug test both of you for alcohol and drugs. And that's all I was saying, that there's a lot of drivers that their opinion is, well, I don't have to drive for 10 hours, so I'm okay. You know, well, we went to work, and that's when Mama was saying one day we went to work last week, or not last week, it was like 6 months ago, and we got to work. Now, say she had that opinion, and she drank, and she's like, oh, Patrick's going to start. I was up till 5 in the morning drinking. We start at noon, you know, and Patrick's going to start driving first, so I'm okay to I can party all night. I'll go to the truck and go to sleep, and by the time I wake up, I'll be okay. Well, as soon as we got to work, they called her in. We couldn't get our paperwork. They said, go see the terminal manager. Well, he said, here's some papers, go to the hospital. You have to do a breathalyzer and a drug screen. You know, so, you know, the driver that has that opinion, he's screwed at that time, he or she. They don't know who's going to start driving, and it doesn't matter. You don't show up to work in a commercial vehicle and with alcohol in your blood. You don't want alcohol. If you're on the road, and there's so many drivers I know that they're on their 34-hour reset, and they'll drink. They'll go to the restaurant and drink. Well, in the morning, you start driving. You could have some drunk driver run under your trailer, decapitate himself, and they're going to come and take you and go drug test you. Now you have alcohol in your blood. They don't care how much. They don't care how little, what it is. You have alcohol in your blood. So you just don't, if you're in a commercial vehicle, in a semi, I mean, a fatality can happen at any time. And if you have anything in your blood, you're gonna be screwed, man. You wanna. That's what I was saying. If you have to drink every day, there's people I know. I have friends. They drink every day. You know, there's they don't need to be driving a semi. You know, and if you have to drink every day, just get it. Don't drive truck. Don't do it. And don't ever think that you can drink and it's okay to crawl in that truck, because it's not. All right, we're home now. So that's what I just wanted to talk about that again, because that is a big problem. There's so many drivers that I picked up where my company said, hey, go pick up this truck, go pick up this load. The driver, if the driver's in the truck, let me know. If they catch you drinking, or they catch you on, somebody sees you taking beer to your truck and somebody calls on you, they'll fire you on the spot. They'll have the police come over. They'll call you and tell you to get out of the vehicle. If you're in the vehicle, when the police get there, we'll have you arrested. I picked up trainers that had students with them, that they arrested them right on the road. They're sitting on the sidewalk crying like a baby, trying to figure out how they're going to get home, because they just got fired for being at a strip club and drinking. And then another driver sees them go out and get in their semi and go down the road to the truck stop and park, and all it takes is a phone call. Then they're out of a job, and they will fire you on the spot. You're not getting back in that truck. And there's so many times I've done that. At least 20 times in the last 10 years, I've picked up loads from drivers that were being escorted out of their truck by the police because somebody called them that for being somewhere drinking the night before, and then they seen them There's Mama. Then they see him leave the place that they're at and go climb in a semi, and somebody will call on you. So anyway, you guys, just be safe out there. Be smart. Do not drink while you're on duty. And if you're over the road, if you leave your house on Monday and you come back Saturday, you're on duty. You don't need to be putting stuff in your system. Don't get yourself. And I'm mainly saying this to a lot of the new drivers out there, because you'll hear different opinions from other drivers, and it don't matter. You don't need to drink while you're on duty, while you're anywhere near that semi truck, and you can't have alcohol in your truck. There's a lot of times I was tempted, like you go somewhere and they have a sale or a deal on alcohol, and you can get a case of booze and to give out to friends and stuff for the holidays, and you want to buy it so bad, but you can't put it in your truck. You put it in your truck, you put it under your thing, you try to hide it. If you get DOT'd and they find that alcohol in your truck, you're done. And all right, that went on longer than I wanted, but I just didn't. After I heard myself, it sounded like I was saying R&L drivers that start at 3 in the morning, they drink up until 2 a.m. and then they go to work. And I was using that as an example. Like, if you're the second driver on the second shift, and don't ever think it's okay to drink and go get on that truck, because you got 10, 12 hours before you have to drive, and it'll be out of your system because anything could happen. Here's Mama. And don't even, I've known drivers that have gotten DOT'd. I picked up a guy's load at a rest area one time, or not a rest area, weigh scale. He went through a weigh scale. They DOT'd where I think it's a level 4, where they check your truck. They can come in your truck and go through your closets and everything. And he had 2 large things of mouthwash in his truck. And they cited him for that, for having alcohol. Because they think, I guess some people drink that shit to get a buzz. People that have to have alcohol. And I've came and picked up drivers loads. My company would want me to go there and get their load and pick them up before the tow truck came and towed their truck, so the load at least got there on time. And they will drop you like a bad habit, your company, if you get caught with any. Most of the time they have the police come. They tell you to get out of the truck. You got 10 minutes to get your stuff. If you're in the truck, when the police get there, we'll have you arrested. And they will leave you there. They will leave you there, and they'll shut off your fuel card, they'll shut off your money, you won't get anything. And you'll have to find your own way home. If you live in Florida and you're up in Utah, tough luck. So just stay away from that alcohol. If you guys, or if you're new drivers, whatever you hear from other people, just stay away from it. And you can make money in this business, good money, but it takes a little bit of time. You have to get your experience, and then you have to get with a company that time is, they take time valuable. They take time very serious, and it's easier to make money because you don't have to worry about 90% of the things that'll hold you back from making money. Looks like my mom's gone. My mom and Rona are gone.